Bill from the Upside of Downsizing. I'm going to do something a little different today. We purchased a Camp Chef Explorer 2-burner stove. It runs on propane, and each propane burner will give out about 30,000 BTUs. The reason we bought that was it's just getting so hot here in southeast Arizona that cooking inside is becoming, well, uncomfortable to say the least. Not only is it uncomfortable while you're cooking, but you end up heating up the trailer, and it takes a long time for it to cool down. So I did a little bit of research, went to Amazon, checked out all the different brands, and there are a lot of different manufacturers from stoves like these. And I decided to go with Camp Chef. And one of the reasons I decided to go with this was the fact that Warren over at Arizona Homestead, he did a review of it, and he really liked it. He said, and I texted him, and he said it's still solid as a rock a year later. So that was one reason. And the other reason was Camp Chef, they've been around a long time, and they offer a lot of accessories for this stove, which is kind of nice. So you can really transform this. So for example, you can use it as you see it with 2 burners and just use a couple pans on it. Or you can add a griddle, and the griddle is made to fit right on to that size burner. You can also get pizza ovens, and you can even get grill boxes, something that would be along this line. And this old thing I'm looking to get rid of. But the grill box would sit right on the frame of the stove, and it would transform this. So there's a lot of things that are going for it. So I did my research on Amazon and found that Amazon's price was way out of line. They were at $117 plus their so-called Amazon Prime shipping, which has become a joke. But that's a whole nother story. I shopped around. I found it at Dick's Sporting Goods, and I found it at Cabela's. And Cabela's had a whopping price of $74.95, including free shipping. So it was with tax, $85 delivered. And it came in about 5 days. So setup was real simple. There's 4 leg extensions here that merely slide on. It's sort of a belled coupling, and then a set screw to secure it. And then you pop on this little splatter screen or windscreen, wind guard, whatever you want to call it. And really the assembly is about 3 minutes. The hose with regulator is included in the price. It's about 3 feet long, and it attaches to, in this case, we have it to a 20-pound propane tank. It'll hook to a 30-pound propane tank as well. Like I say, the regulator is included, and the hose was pre-assembled or pre-attached. So the stove has 2 burners. Each burner will have the ability to regulate with this inside ring the amount of air going to the burner, and thereby adjusting the flame from yellow to the more desirable typical propane blue. The stove does not have automatic ignitions. They can be purchased separately and installed. In fact, it's pre-drilled for the installation of an igniter on both sides. They run about $13 a piece. Lighting it with a regular Bic lighter like one of these is real simple. So I think I'll probably forego, at least for right now, that accessory. We are interested in, or the pizza oven, and the grill box would be a kind of a nice addition. I have complained that when they arrive damaged, and the stove itself, completely assembled, weighs probably about 40 pounds, I'm guessing. And our box was pretty beat up. It was delivered, like I said, from Cabela's using FedEx as the delivery service. The box did show some damage. There were some holes punched in it where the feet from the stove actually punched through the cardboard, but the packing inside was sufficient enough that it was undamaged. Let me show you the box real quick. You can see the damage that was sustained during shipping, and it basically corresponds to everywhere where the legs from the main unit were pressed up against the box. So there are 3 holes on this side, and kind of a split on this side. Here are some of the other accessories that are available. This is the grill box I was telling you about that converts basically your stove into a grill, a standard grill, and it does have cast iron grates. Camp Chef offers a really big variety of cast iron. So they have a lot of Dutch ovens and griddles, and there's that pizza oven I was telling you about. And they offer that in two different sizes, a wide one that will fit across the entire width of the stove, and a smaller one that just basically occupies one burner. So you could have one burner with a griddle, for example, next to it. Just so you know, these legs can be removed, and this unit will sit on a tabletop. If you remove this, the leg goes to here, and there is a rubber cap on it already installed at the factory. And according to the manufacturer, it can be used on a tabletop. Okay, I'm going to light a burner for you. The first thing you want to do is turn on your propane tank. And then it's pretty simple. You're just going to rotate this knob all the way through until you get to low. There's a couple holes. You can either stick the lighter in through the hole or just go from the top. It doesn't really matter. And it's lit. I don't know if you can see the flame or not. Let me see if I can make it a little higher. Okay, I wanted to show you what the flame looked like, so I waited about a half an hour until it got a little darker, and the wind is picking up a little bit. But right now, it's set on low. That's medium. And that's high. You can see it really cranks out the heat. I'm going to try to adjust that flame now. It's hard to make the adjustments because of the wind. But I wanted you to get an idea of what kind of power this thing brings out. And I think this demonstrates it pretty well. There's a ring that allows you to adjust the amount of air getting in. That'll change the combustion. And you'll see that when I change it, I can turn that flame. There we go. Yellow. That's, of course, very inefficient. You want it to be blue. Now these grates here, this is all steel, welded steel. It's very heavy duty. And this manifold is probably, I think that manifold feels like it's steel as well. Now in the past I've heard some complaints about the knobs, that the knobs were kind of cheap, but actually they feel really well molded. They're molded plastic, but they feel like they have some quality to them. So overall, it's hard to complain. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cook an egg for you. So cooking this egg, I'm going to be using it's probably a 10-inch carbon steel pan that I bought about 25 or 30 years ago in Munich, Germany. It's made by a company called Anafana, and it's kind of interesting. If you look at the shape of the handle, usually you would see a steel pan like this where the handle would extend long and straight out. They took it and they bent it up in this configuration, and then no matter how hot this pan gets, this handle stays cool. It's great design. It's also really well seasoned. So what I'm going to do first is I'll get the burner lit. Put my pan on it. Now these burners put out a lot of heat, so it's going to get this pan hot fast. I have it on low. Let me check. Actually, I got it on medium low. Now Camp Chef does offer leg levelers, so if you're on a piece of ground that's not level, like our patio here tilts slightly in this direction. It's not too bad, but if I had the leg levelers, I would probably bring the backside up a little bit. But you'll see that when I put the egg in. Now, like I said, this pan is carbon steel and it's really well seasoned. I would guess that in the 25 or 30 years that I've owned this thing, it's been washed with soap once, maybe twice. If something really sticks to it, I'll use some coarse salt, but otherwise, you can see how that egg just slips around. All those fancy non-stick pans got nothing on this. And I own one of those fancy non-stick pans. Another thing that Camp Chef makes, another option, is called a flame diffuser. A flat piece of round steel that sits on top of the grate and will be like a flame tamer, they call it, I believe. And actually I did order one along, it was 12 bucks and I ordered it along with the cover. I'm going to just turn the heat off now. The pan's got plenty of heat on this to finish the cooking. And then when I get done, I'm just going to wipe this out with a paper towel, and that's it. No washing, no nothing. But even on the yolk side, it's still no sticking. And that's it. I haven't used it enough to really be super critical of it, but I can tell you that for 75 bucks, I'm real happy with it. I love the look of the burners, the overall appearance. It's very utilitarian looking, but the fact is it's robust, and if it holds up, I'll be happy with it. The finish is nice. It's got a sort of a baked on enamel black finish. There's no chips on it. Hard to complain. And like I said, if you look around, Father's Day is coming up in a couple weeks. Look around and you'll find a good price. And I can tell you right now, Amazon is not the place to look. Like I said, I did my research, and right now, Cabela's is the place to buy it. I'm not sponsored by Cabela's, and I'm not sponsored by Camp Chef. Though if they want to send me stuff, I'm not going to turn it down. Camp Chef offers a lot of different models and a lot of accessories. So it's kind of fun to do the shopping for this, but think future-oriented. So if you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.